my lighting right. How are you guys doing? Let's get some lotion on. My hands are super dry. How are you guys doing? I want to come in really quickly and just talk about improving your relationship with yourself. You guys know I talk openly about therapy, things that I may have gone through, if it's from health to personal, because that's all of, self-development, personal development, however you choose to categorize it. Therapy is part of self-care and growth as well. So all of it kind of just entwines with one another. But I want to touch on a few points. I got my wine right here. I got some Pinot Grigio. Y'all, I keep meaning to share with you the wine. Look at this glass, y'all. I got this glass years ago from Pier 1. Who remembers Pier 1? I know the ones by me have closed down. I don't know if any of them have, maybe a select few have stayed open. I'm not sure, but this is, this is it. I'll have to give you a story about Pier 1. But I'm drinking Pinot Grigio. It's a dry wine. So if you're not a part of the dry girls, you're not going to like it. But let's have a sip. Ooh. So, let's get into it. I don't want to draw this out. I want to get right to the point, because sometimes we tend to draw things out and they don't need to be drawn out. You know what I mean? But I sit back and think about how I have grown in these last 2 years. It doesn't matter how old you are. 'Cause I hear some people around here talking about, the trauma you have is all inflicted because of you. Change your life. Don't be like what you've seen, or this, that. Sometimes things just freaking happen. Yes, we can control certain things. Sometimes things just never the way they do. You know what I mean? But the good thing about all of this, it can be fixed, corrected, navigated, shifted, and all of that. And I have done just that. I'm going to give you some examples and kind of twine myself into each of these. So I only have 3. I don't have many. I only have 3. I don't have many. So let's get right into it. My first tip is to speak positive. Get negative thoughts out of your system. I know it's hard. I know it's easier said than done. I am still struggling with that. I will definitely say I've come a long way, and I've definitely seen some improvement, because I was definitely a negative thinker. Up to recent, about me getting my new job. I had the job, but I was talking negative. I could have talked myself out of a job. We can speak so many different things. Sometimes words is more powerful than force. You just don't realize it. But when you take the negative thinking out and think positive and think as if you are living the life that you want to live, it will all change. Ladies, I can't wait until, I don't want to rush, because I like how time is going, but I want to show you and tell you some things that I have been manifesting, putting myself in a situation as if it's already mine. It's non-negotiable. You know what I mean? Non-negotiable. So think positive. Put yourself already in the situation. Prime example. If you know you want to have a 6-figure business and you want to get that done in a year, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, at this moment where you are, walk it. Walk it as, I own a 6-figure business and we are bringing in the cake and we're selling. Numbers is up. Everything is up. Marketing is good. Walk it. Walk it. And that's something that I never did. I was always like, I may have gave off my outer appearance, and that's pretty much my sign. I'm a Cancer. I'm a crab, and we have hard shells, but on the inside we just so mushy. But on the outside I would portray as if I'm all this, but meanwhile on the inside I'm like this. So I had to reverse that. Like, I'm like this and I'm like this, and it's just amazing. And when thinking positive, encourage yourself. Push yourself to do more. One thing that I mentioned, that was in my live that I did recently, depending on when you're watching this video, I did a live and I talked about, you know, how are we going to plan our best year ever for 2022. And pretty much it was encourage yourself. Encourage yourself to do more, to be more, to have more. And all of these things are in with reason. I'm not saying you're gonna, and not that you can't, but I'm just thinking realistically. Like, oh, I want to manifest a Gucci bag. Meanwhile, life is still looking crazy. We don't want to manifest material things, and meanwhile, health ain't good, children ain't good, bills ain't good, things like that. We want to get all these things good, and then when those things are good, other things will trickle, and that's when all the material things will come into play. So just encourage yourself to do more and want more. And again, I will be a advocate of encouraging yourself, because let me tell you something, I was always hard on myself, and now I'm at a point where I know what I can do, and I'm not mad at myself for not doing it before, because everybody has their time. You know, some people say, oh, you could have been doing this, you could have already had this, but guess what, I didn't. Yeah, I could have, but guess what? That's not when my mind and my body collided and said, guess what, Kelly, it's your time. So when it all hit me, I started encouraging myself. And I'm gonna be honest with you, 2020 and 2021 shine a light, not just on me, but on everybody. But I can only speak for myself. It was so many things in life that I just felt like came to a head. You know, family, friends, work, just goals, where you want to be, how you want to be. You know, prime example, me having all this makeup and not wearing it. Oh, I'm gonna wait till I do this, or when I do this video, or when I do this blog post. Not anymore. If I buy it, I'm wearing it. I don't even care if I don't have anywhere to go. I'm gonna put it on the day, I'm gonna wear it. If it's a shirt, a boot, or whatever, a lipstick, I'm wearing it. A perfume, I'm not saving it for no special day, because these last years have taught us, shown us that life is short and you're not guaranteed anything. So just encourage yourself to do more, and don't half-ass on yourself at all. Tip number 2, self-love. Practice it, do it, implement it. I just did a video on it, and I'll leave it up here just so you guys can see it. If not, it'll be in the cards. Ladies, like I said in that video, self-care was never on my list. You know, the most I may have done for myself, you know, I always bought myself things, but it was never things that I probably really wanted. And not even say probably, it wasn't. You know, it was things that I felt like it was within my means, because, you know, I was a mother, I was a single mother or a mother of 2. It was like, okay, well, I know my kids need, let me not get that for myself. But let me tell you something, and now I'm going to tap into relationships. I love myself, and I care for myself just as much as more as I would do a relationship. Because I found myself at one point in my life where I was on the back burner for myself. My kids never, you know what I mean? But if I'm in a relationship, I would cater to this person. The person wouldn't even cater to me. And that's another thing, the self-worth. I'm going to get into that later. Oh my God. Understanding, never give nobody more love than you give yourself. Because if you can't love yourself, then they should not have the love. If you get what I'm trying to say. Like, I tell you, I've been in relationships where I would do cartwheels for a meal. And then at the end, it was no bueno for me. It was portrayed as if it was, but when it hit the fan, it wasn't. So the same way how you give the love in a relationship, give it to yourself 10 times. Because let me tell you something. When you sit back and you finally get past heartache and why, and I should have known, you're going to sit back and be like, you know what, it was a learning lesson. What did I learn from it? Instead of beating yourself up, sit back and say, what did I learn from this actual situation? And prime example, you know, my last situation, I learned so much from that. So much from that relationship, because I was so hurt. But at the end of the day, everything panned out the way it needed to pan out. You know what I mean? And I can sit here and say I was good and I will always remain good. That's one thing I've never done in my, you know, years. If one person hurt me, and maybe I don't realize, so let me not say that. If one person hurts me, that's not going to stop me. I'm not going to sit and say, F men, F this, F that. You know, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm not going to let one bad apple spoil for the bunch. You know, we're not doing that. Because we might find that good one. And it's coming. Last but not least, and this is kind of tie everything all together, heal from your trauma. I do feel like that's something that I did a little bit late in my game. I probably should have healed a little bit earlier, you know, before all my dating happened. But I'm at a point now where I'm healing, I've healed, and I know what not to do moving forward. I know what I don't want to deal with, and what are my deal breakers. You know, heal. And I also learn your attachment style. There's a book called Attached. I'm not trying to be real therapy right here, but however, I'm just giving you information that, you know, I use for myself. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just sharing because, you know, sharing is caring. And my attachment style is attached. You know, I get attached quick because I just do. I'm not a person where it's like, okay, I'm gonna play with Johnny, I'm gonna play with, you know, Jimmy, I'm gonna play with Earl. You know, we're not doing any of that. You know, if I'm chilling with Mike, I'm gonna chill with Mike. You know what I mean? Even though I don't know if Mike is the one, but I'm gonna put some energy into Mike and see what's good. And then if he's no good, then we're gonna throw Mike to the side. But for the most part, you know, and that's pretty much putting all your eggs in one basket. You know, as they tell the young women, you know, date, you know, see what's good for you, work. I do agree with that. And, you know, it took me some time to really understand that. I'm like, why would you want to do all that? You know, you should just date and date that person. But it's good to date multiple people. You know, let everybody know what's going on. I'm not saying everybody has to get the same treatment because we're grown. However, you know, just be candid about everything, be open, and go from there. But yeah. So in saying all of that, those are my 3 tips to improve your relationship with yourself. And those are some tips that I use for myself. I'm still currently using them. You can never, you know, stop growing, stop improving. You know, this journey and this self-development, this growth, self-care, it's a ever going thing. It's not just a one and done. You know, I've been seeing my therapist, it's going to be 2 years soon. And I don't even see myself stopping at all. You know, some people may say, oh, therapy is not good. Even for my last tip, healing from trauma, get a therapist. You know, it's okay to talk to your girlfriends, talk to close friends or relatives or whatever, but at the end of the day, get the help from the professionals. It's such a totally different spin. I can see from me talking to my therapist and from talking to my girlfriends, and then when I stop venting to my girlfriends, to me just keeping it with my therapist. You know, it's a difference, and you grow differently, you learn differently, you know. And it's not about, oh, you don't tell your girlfriend because you don't want to hear what they have to say. No, you're not a professional. They're just giving you their opinion. But when you got the professionals, it's different. It's different, and it helps you grow in a different way. It lets you see different things from a different perspective as well. So I'm telling you, get some therapy. But to close this video out, ladies, if there's any tips that you do to improve your relationship with yourself, please let me know. Leave it down below. And ladies, if you want to have a good dialogue, let's do it down in the comments. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, because there's going to be more content just like this. So I want to say hey to all my new subscribers, hey to all my loyals. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch you in this video. Bye.